Hey folks, thanks for coming by and listening to the podcast today. I really appreciate you taking your time. Today's episode's going to be about the Deftones' new album, or really the lack of an album. It's been sort of a rumor for a long time, and I remember reading articles for maybe a year now or more, and I wanted to sit down and chat with everybody, sort of give my perspective and just throw my opinion out into the peanut gallery. I'm sure it really matters a whole lot. Today, we're going to be sponsored by the Stash Shack, so stick around a little bit later. We're going to talk about their products in the most covert way that I can. So on April 12th, 2024, Ultimate Metal posted an article that said that the Deftones album was finished, completely finished. Everything's good to go. We're just going to work on vocals. It's 3/23/25. So I just wanted that to kind of weigh in on everybody's brains a little bit. Almost a year ago, there started to surface articles that indicated that the album was done, that all he had to do was sing it. On April 14th, 2024, Metal Injection said same thing, pretty much same article. So the album's been done for a year. This is my point. So the album's been done for a year, and you've had a whole year to sing the album. But one of the biggest problems with taking that long to make just your vocals for the album is that you've also been on tours and played festivals. Now, it's a year later, and you've announced a brand new tour, and they're actually already playing some shows. So they just played in Portland. They played a couple of shows. So they're coming around to Columbus, Ohio soon, and my kid's going to actually go see that one. We're going to go see them in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And, I'm really excited. I am excited. I have a Deftones tattoo on my back. I'm a White Pony girl. I've always loved the Deftones since I was a kiddo. And not really trying to shit talk. What I'm trying to express is that what is wrong? So there must be something going on. There must be something wrong. In 2021, Sergio Vega left the band, said that there was problem with being permanent. So they wanted to be a permanent part of the band, but they never really could be. So they were always just sort of like a contracted extra bassist person that was just in the band, and they were allowed some creative, give here and there, but mostly they felt temporary. And they had always hoped for like a more permanent part of the band, but the band had seemed happy with the status quo according to some articles. I'm going to try and link all this stuff in the description box. So in 2022, Sergio Vega did talk with Guitar.com about why he left the band. He says it was never about money, but more a sense of belonging. I do wonder sometimes, since the death of Chi Chang, has there been problems in Deftones that were they only kind of held together because of the friendships of the original members? And I think that maybe there's not really truth to that, because there's also really clearly, if you're a Deftones lore person, there's a lot of strife and difficulty that happened before Chi got in the wreck and went into the coma. There was a lot of tension over early album recordings. So I think that Saturday Night Wrist with Hole in the Earth, I think that album was mostly recorded separate, so I think they had a lot of ideas. You guys can get in the comments and tear me apart if I'm wrong on this stuff, but I think by that time there was already a rift to where there was some difficulty recording together. Is it possible that the Deftones' most prolific time was already beyond, and that since we've received little snippets of treasures here and there, but I don't think that Gore or Ohms were fantastic albums. So that might be a hot take, but I think that Gore was a worse album. Gore is probably the worst album of the Deftones, if we want to get right down to it. Gore was completely boring from the first moment it started until it ends. And there's little pieces here and there that I think are worth listening to if you are a real Deftones fan. Ohms tried to get back to like a more original sound, something that was a little bit more like what we would have remembered the Deftones sounding like in their heyday, when they were really popular and when they were selling big concerts out, and when their albums would have been super relevant to fans. Diamond Eyes. There's little bursts of things that are really exciting in the Deftones world, and then there's just gore. So I wanted to put out to the world that I think it's very entirely possible that the Deftones are on the brink of a breakup, that maybe they've done what they can do, and that the album is in trouble. The reason that we've not seen a Deftones album come out is because there's not an album yet to put out. I think that completed album is just bed tracks, and that through deciding what vocals go where, the shapes of the songs can change. And I think that that's the difficulty they've come into, a disagreement over what goes where. Chino comes in with a whole new line of vocals through rehearsal, through emotional, sitting down and going through what he really thinks hits the spot of this riff at this moment. And what if that's another measure? What if that's 3 more measures? And what if that starts riffs and arguments? And what if that makes perfect not perfect anymore? And what if his striving for perfection is what's tearing them apart? Just little things to think about. Our new friends Carlos and Pedro at the Stash Shack were really cool with my mom Becca at Hippie of Love on the old Twitter. Her page is still there on X. Head over and visit her old stomping ground so that you can meet some of our stoner fam. As a hippie enthusiast and, an actual hippie, my mom had a huge following, and she used that to help her friends' companies grow in this burgeoning new world of legal green culture. Now, Becca passed away in 2022, leaving behind a peaceful legacy of smokery and love in her wake. And that's something that they and I really vibe on, and we want to pass on to you. So, to carry some small part of my mom's legacy into the coming years, we want to offer her coupon code to you guys, our viewers, and our friends, so that you too can save some money at that pesky checkout page and help keep her name alive in a place that she found the most happiness. The Stash Shack sells all sorts of products for people into dry herbal stuff and items that assist in the vaporization of concentrates. Everything is the highest quality. We have a lot of those products here in our own home, and they're often sleek, attractive, and most importantly, affordable. And hey, if you use the coupon code Hippie of Love, you can even save some cash, making it even more possible to partake like the kings and queens and royalty that you all are. So visit www.thestashshack.com, search for some awesome rigs or tools, and use my mom's legacy code Hippie of Love for a fat discount at checkout to help you along your journey. Don't forget to visit the Stash Shack at the X handle below and our page at We Make the Sound, where we post cool pics, music, shorts, and other such silliness. Becca would have really appreciated it, and we do too. Thanks a million billion. Really, guys, thank you so much for listening. You've been an absolute joy. I get the biggest thrill out of running my mouth and making sure that people can have information, whether it might be something that they want to listen to, read, watch. I'm into all kinds of things. I would really love to share all of those things with you. Come back and visit us more. Take care of yourself. Be good.